All right, the next thing we're going to talk about is how do you choose a web editor that is right for you? During this class, I will be using Dreamweaver, which is a Adobe Creative Cloud application. I have this on my computer. It does cost money. So if you are a student, you can get a student discount with Adobe Dreamweaver, but I would not recommend buying it. I would recommend getting a free editor. However, if you have Dreamweaver because you're a graphic design student or just because you are interested in the Adobe Creative Suite, you can use Dreamweaver. But there are also other web editors out there for you. So I gave you a link to the Aptana Studio 3 and to Notepad++, but I also have given you an article called The Best Free Web Editors. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this link. And this is an article about the 5 best free HTML editor software tools. So what you guys are going to be doing this semester is you are going to be opening up a web editor and you're going to type HTML code. So you're going to type hypertext markup language into a application, a software tool called an HTML editor. You will save this file with an HTML format, and when you upload it to a web server, it'll show up on the web. So that is what you need to find, is a free web editor. So here are the ones that this article talks about. It talks about Coffee Cup, which I've used before and it's great. And all of these are free. Komodo Edits is another. NetBeans, Notepad++, and Visual Studio Code. These are all free tools that you can use that are going to help you with your HTML code and editor. So you need to make sure you get an editor on your machine. When you look at this article, it'll talk about it. It tells you what the pros and the cons are. So I'd like you to read this. I do not want you to do a cost upgrade because I don't think you necessarily need that for this class. You could even just use a basic Notepad application on your computer if you wanted, but Notepad is very basic and it will not give you little screen hints, which is sometimes nice when you're doing a lot of coding. So this is the one that's at the very top, which is Coffee Cup. It is highly rated by people who work in higher education. It's a free editor that meets their needs better than the average software solution. So Coffee Cup is good. Komodo is another one. And this is a little bit more businessy. So it is used in both small and mid-sized businesses. We've got Apache NetBeans, which is publicly available. You do not have to upgrade. We also have Notepad++, which is only available for Windows users. And then the third one in this article is Visual Studio Code. Any of these will work. What you need to do this week, though, is I want you to find a web editor that fits you and that works well. If you find one and you decide you don't want it, you can always come back to this article and find another one. And like I said, what I'm going to be using in these tutorials is Dreamweaver, but I'm only going to be using the Dreamweaver side, or the coding side of Dreamweaver. I'm not going to use the what you see is what you get part of it. So that is what I will be using in these tutorials, but you can find an editor that fits you. So this week, what I need you to do for homework is right here, find a web editor. You might try out a few before you find out what you want to use. So that's going to be one of the first things that you do this week, is some research, and you need to make sure you have a web editor on your computer.